There we go. I swear I do like a pre-flight check when I do streaming, and I'm always still missing something. So frustrating. Alrighty. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Let's see here. We need to fix something else here. Okay, how about now? Hi, look at that. My mouth moves right. Okay. So I think everything's normal, kind of, sort of. So we'll make the best of it. All right. Yeah, welcome to the stream. And I am Stream Crush as always. Yeah. Kind of not been on for a couple of days. I would have been on Monday, but I actually ended up watching Demon Chuckle stream. And had a lot of fun watching him play Elden Ring. And he was streaming with Farino, if I'm getting that right. Yeah, doing a duo thing. So, yeah, it looked like fun. It was very relaxing to watch. And actually, I just kind of lost track of time. And yeah, before I knew it, it was just too late for me to stream. So I just kept watching him. And then yesterday, I actually fell asleep. Yeah, I know. Not much of an excuse, but it is what it is. So here I am today. A little bit of a late stream, but, you know, work week, so have to be like that. I didn't seem to have missed too much, though, so that's probably a good thing. I did see that there is, there was the Ubisoft Forward thing, which, from what I can tell, didn't actually reveal much of anything new. More Division, more Assassin's Creed, more For Honor, more Skull and Bone. Yeah, just more of the. I did see that they announced the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time for 2026. Yeah, can you believe this? Like, look at this. Prince of Persia: Sands of Time 2026. Oh, what up if you guys actually saw this? Let's see here. Yeah, all right. Here we go. 2026. What is this? Why even bother with this announcement? This blows my mind. It's 2024. Like, we're roughly halfway through 2024. Like, why even announce something this far ahead? It just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, you needed to have something in your show, I guess. But I mean, your show is already filled with, like, the same crap you've been advertising for months. You know? And don't get me wrong, like, you know, crap is subjective, but I mean, Ubisoft is the master of like the 7 out of 10 games, so it's like, yeah. Plus, I mean, everybody already knew all these throughout. Yeah. I'm not mad that I missed this show because honestly, I really can't think of the last time I was excited about anything Ubisoft put out. Rayman Legends? That was a while ago. I was excited when they revealed Beyond Good and Evil 2, but that game's never coming out at this point. And even if it ever does, it won't resemble anything like they originally planned for it. So I consider Beyond Good and Evil a dead franchise. It feels like there was a time when Ubisoft was a bit more experimental and slightly less greedy. But nowadays, I don't feel like that at all. I feel like Ubisoft is leading the charge in many ways with new ways to just milk the consumer for that much more. I was actually reading a Twitter thread from one of the industry insiders talking about the problems that are facing the industry right now. And of course, he doesn't say like, you know, specifically capitalism. He's like, it's a combination of things. Which, I mean, it isn't just capitalism. I mean, you had COVID, you know, you had a whole bunch of stuff that has happened, right? But if you add up the last couple of years of layoffs in the game industry, it's like over 20,000 people have been laid off. Like, the gaming industry got hit hard. And a big part of that is that there was an expectation of growth. Because, like, okay, if you think about how gaming works, when they make, say, like we're talking about this announcement here, 2026 for Prince of Persia stand-up, that's probably, let's say it actually makes that 2026 target. That probably means this game's already been in development for like 2 years, maybe 3. Because the average game, the average AAA game now takes about at least half a console cycle to be made. So you're looking at like about 5 years minimum for a AAA game to be made. And that's a really long time, right? So let's say it's 2015 and you're banking on what the industry is going to look like in 2020. I mean, you'd have no way of predicting that COVID was going to happen, right? You'd have no way of predicting wars would break out or anything like that. You wouldn't have any idea the consequences of what was going to be happening in 5 years. You have to make a guess. And the only thing you can do is look at hindsight. How has the industry done the 5 years before? Well, the industry came off of the Wii U, the PS3, and the Xbox 360 looking pretty good. And yeah, the Wii U wasn't doing so hot. But, I mean, let's be honest, it really started to fizzle out, around 2013? You know? I mean, it had a chance, and it couldn't quite make it, right? The Xbox One hadn't really been much of a thing yet. The PS4 kind of just got announced in like 2013, I think. Let's see. What was the PS4 launch day? Let's see, when did the PS4 launch? Yeah, PS4 launched in 2013. Yeah, the Xbox One release date was same year, 2013. So, and hey, let's, for sake of argument here, Wii U release date. So the Wii U actually released right at the end of 2012. So you're Ubisoft, you're a year or two into this console cycle. Wii U launched, and now it's 2013, and you have the Xbox and the PlayStation 4 just launched their new consoles. So your picture of the gaming industry has to be based on like, okay, well, how did these consoles do in the last generation? How these companies do in the last generation? Plus, you're looking at economic conditions of, oh, okay, well, we're starting to pull out of a recession. Things are looking good. So yeah, in 2015, I can imagine that there was a lot of companies who started looking at like, okay, well, we can do X things with X budget. We'll get the investors. And the investors, of course, were on board. But the market's totally changed in the last 5 years. Live service games took off, but not all of them. Many of them have crashed and burned. And a big reason why, of course, is because there's not enough players to go around. Like, if you have Fortnite and Roblox and, things like that, mobile games like Candy Crush, if they're sucking up a ton of game players, where are you going to find the rest? Because, like, while people do kind of tend to play more than one game, most people are going to find a forever game of their choice, or a forever franchise, and that's kind of what they're going to stick to heavily. So if you have, like, say, a Fortnite player, Fortnite's players probably not going to be jumping around to a bunch of other games because they got Fortnite, right? So, it comes back down to, what do you do? The market's just saturated at this point, right? For everything, So, and budgets are getting out of control. Development times take a long time. So, yeah, it's not a good time in the industry right now because nobody knows what the industry is going to look like anymore. Or at least before they thought they had an idea. Now they definitely don't. So that's why you're seeing so many cancellations of games, a lot of layoffs. It's not just greedy publishers. I mean, there is an element of that to it. Interestingly enough, the executives are the ones that make all these decisions, and you don't see them running, getting fired pretty quickly. So once again, the heads that roll are always down the chain. So yeah, I mean, but it's why you're seeing like, PlayStation doing, PC launches, and why you see the Lego Horizon game is on Switch. And why MLB has been on, Xbox and Switch for a while. It's why you're seeing Microsoft going multi-platform. I mean, they have a quarter of the industry at this point in terms of multi-platform games. They may as well take advantage of that, right? The era of the exclusive as we used to think of them is basically over at this point. It's weird to me how they don't consider PC a competitor. I think that's going to bite them in the ass at some point. If you're a console person, but I think honestly, if you're not Nintendo, and maybe even they're thinking about this too, I think the era of the console is coming to a close. Not necessarily in terms of like, they're going to stop making consoles, but I think that there is going to be a lot more crossover between the PC and the console. I think instead of looking at them as separate platforms, I think publishers are now looking at PC as a like a companion to what they're releasing. So PC may not always be a favorite child of theirs, but it's too big of a market for them to ignore at this point. On the other hand, I do think that there's still opportunities in the console market for something a bit more old school, more proprietary hardware or something along those lines. But it's a tough sell because we've reached a point with the game industry where homogeny is more important than anything else. The safe dollar is more important than the risky dollar. But I don't know. It's crazy to think about how this industry started, and where it is now in terms of risk and reward. Because I actually think that if you think about it, it used to be harder to make a game back in the day than it is now. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but like you didn't have as many people that had an understanding of programming languages. You didn't have the documentation that you do nowadays for development. Imagine like, and there's tons of stories of this. All three of the major platform holders are Japanese companies, or were, Sega, Nintendo, and Sony, and all of them released documentation that, although I heard Sony was probably the best at this, but all of them had released documentation for their hardware that was not translated properly. Right? It was not in English, or was poorly translated in English. So there was a lot of companies that weren't Japanese trying to make games for these consoles and not doing a very good job. not doing a very good job because they didn't know what half the crap on the console did. And this hurt these developers, because you could you'd get a first party launch from the platform holders, or maybe the second parties, or developers that were close to those publishers, platform holders, whatever. They would put out brilliant shining gems of games that ran great and did all these really cool things, and then you would see a third party launch that would try and do it too, and unless they had a massive budget and in with the company, it was really hard for them to kind of meet that standard of quality. It's one of the reasons why you would get something like Croc, which is not a bad game. It's just an awkward game. It's not quite as good as, say, like Crash Bandicoot or Mario 64, because the resources just weren't there for them to deliver that AAA polished experience that was on those platforms, with being published as a first party game. So, it's hard to beat the companies that built the console and already know it inside and out, so to speak, right? Nowadays the documentation's better, and hardware back then was a lot more unique. The PlayStation rendered everything with triangles like a normal machine nowadays would, but the Saturn rendered all of its graphics with quads, which is weird, right? They didn't do polygons, they did quads. Instead of 3 sides, it was 4 sides. And crazier than that is pretty much like the Saturn didn't do polygons at all. The Saturn did all of its 3D rendering using sprites. Like the Saturn was a sprite pushing monster. So when you're looking at a Saturn game and you're looking at its 3D graphics, it is using 3D. It's combining it's combining flat 2D sprites into shapes and then displaying that. So which is a crazy thought, right? The problem with it is that the Saturn also had this really, well, for the time, wacky idea of having multiple processors to get the job done. And these processors were all assigned different functions. The problem is that if you didn't know how to make them all work together, you ended up with games that were very subpar. So a lot of the ports from PlayStation to Saturn, they were worse than the PlayStation version. Some were way worse. So yeah, it's not something you have anymore. If somebody ports a game from the Xbox to the PlayStation, it's going to work exactly the same. Like, Digital Founder guys will tell you right now, there's generally no difference between a PlayStation game and an Xbox game anymore. The Switch, obviously, makes for interesting comparisons. But that's because the hardware is ancient and compared to, current home console technology. But yeah, I mean, there's just no longer that surprise of like, what can one competitor's console do versus another, unless we're talking Nintendo. And even then, let's be honest, it's really not that much of a surprise anymore. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's an interesting time in the industry because I think that you're going to see even more shuffling and reorganization of priorities. I don't think live service games are going to be the taking over the world as a lot of studios would like, but I do think there is going to continue to be a drive for revenue, for growth. And if they can't get it by expanding the base of consumers, they'll get it from the consumers that are still gaming. So expect more practices that are designed to extract money from your wallet. As a paying customer, you're already going to be, you're going to be taken for an even bigger ride. It's one of the reasons why when you look at a Ubisoft game, these games are not going to be cheap. They're going to be more expensive. They're going to have more parts of them piecemealed off and then sold to you for higher premiums. And then the products themselves will come with a bunch of stuff begging you to spend money on it. They're going to have dumb things like early access. They're going to have battle passes and cash shops and whatever monetary vehicle that they can think of and add to these, they will do it. Because if they can't build out, they will just cannibalize what they can because it's the constant desire for growth. It's not a sustainable path no matter how you look at it. But it doesn't matter because by the time they have to worry about that damage, they'll already made tons of money. So they don't have to think about that. They just have to think about the now. So it's a bit of a shame to see this happening. And I guess that kind of leads me to this bad boy right here. Dragon Age the Veilguard. This is why we're firing this up for the most part. I wanted to see the gameplay reveal for this. Because I'm very curious. I wasn't really keen on this trailer. The initial reveal here for Dragon Age the Veilguard. I had mentioned that it reminded me of like Vox Machina, just kind of that like band of adventures, kind of goofing off and having fun in a fantasy world, and just kind of, I mean, it's serious, but it doesn't necessarily take itself seriously. It had almost like a Dungeons and Dragons kind of vibe to it, right? Not necessarily the worst of things, but like Dragon Age is generally speaking, its tone has been more serious. So I'm curious to see if the gameplay reveal is going to be matching that tone that didn't seem like it was there in the reveal. That cinematic they showed during the Xbox game show. So we're gonna find out. That's kind of what we're doing now. So let's see, play. Hopefully this will be good. This is your first look at Dragon Age the Veilguard. The following footage was captured from software in development and takes place very early in the game. Okay, so no spoilers, because, you're going to see this right off the bat. Good. Oh, it has been edited for brevity and to avoid any major spoilers. Well, that's good. I appreciate that. This is still a 20-minute long video.
I hope Nev's as good at finding people as you claim.
She's the best damn detective I've ever met. If she says she's got a lead on Solus, I believe her.
That looks cool.
Should we be in more of a hurry to get out of here?
We don't want to look conspicuous. Just get out of here nice and casual. Find Nev Gallus and stop Solus.
So, like, what did that say? I need to read that again. Go back. Select text overlays added for context and do not appear in game. Okay, so this won't show up when you're actually playing the game. All right. Fair enough. Custom appearance. So you'll be able to edit your character. Okay. Backstory is chat. Okay. So not bad looking so far. Cool graphics and everything.
You still think you can talk him down before he starts his big ritual?
That ritual is going to tear down the veil. The only thing separating us from the Fade and an endless number of demons. I have to talk him down.
Halt!
Wait! But I didn't do anything!
Get down.
Are they after us? Is it because of the bar?
Word travels fast in Minrathous.
We've got to help her.
We don't have time to get arrested, especially if...
Okay.
Oh, crap.
We're too late.
The ritual started. But if we hurry, we can still stop Solus before it finishes. Let's go! Harding's this way. She'll get us to Dumont Plaza.
Watch out! Is Solus summoning demons on purpose?
My guess is the veil is weakening, and they're slipping through the cracks.
And when the veil comes down completely?
Then the whole world is going to look a lot like this. Come on, this way. It should get us to Harding.
This is extremely scripted.
You're safe now. Get inside and bar the doors quick as you can, okay?
Thank you, miss.
Harding, you all right?
I've been doing what I can to help. The ritual must be weakening the veil. There are a lot of scared people out here.
And a lot of demons. Haven't seen this many come through the Fade in years.
What about you two? Are you okay?
We're good, but we need to move.
Agreed. Solus isn't waiting, neither can we.
Have you got my gear?
Right over there. Where's Nev Gallus? Wasn't she at the meeting point?
The Venatori got to her first. They grabbed her before we arrived and paid off the bar owner to keep it quiet.
I'm not surprised our detective did something to piss off a cult of murderous blood mages, but their timing stinks. The bar owner said the Venatori took Nev to Dumont Plaza. Can you get us there, Harding?
Rook, you're with the Shadow Dragons. I figured you'd know Minrathous better than I do.
Sure, but Minrathous is huge, and this is nowhere near my neighborhood. I can try.
Don't worry. Scouting's my specialty. Follow me.
Eyes up. We've got company.
Demons, here they come.
Oh. Oh no. They went full action RPG, didn't they? That's not Dragon Age, man. Every game does this now. It's like they're terrified that you have, turn-based combat now, and they're like, no, people don't have the patience for turn-based combat. They want action. I mean, I'm not against action combat. I'm not even against it here. It's just so many games look like this now. The hyper action combat-y type stuff. It's either that or it's like Souls ripoff. So it's either Devil May Cry or Dark Souls. It just would be nice to see something a little different. I mean, it's dynamic. I'll give it that.
I think that's the last of them.
Good. Let's get to Dumont Plaza and find Nev. Patch yourselves up if you need it.
You are in violation of Imperial order.
I don't get it. If Solus tears down the Veil, doesn't that destroy everything?
Solus always talked about how beautiful the ancient world was.
That world existed before the Veil, and he wants to bring it back.
Even if his ritual kills us all in the process. Venatori cultists!
I hate these assholes.
Kick him off. Kick him off the edge. Come on. He falls off the edge. Did you see? That guy goes yeet, right off the edge. Okay, but come on. That's cool and all, but like, kick him off the edge, man. How do you have a game like this with action combat and then you don't have the ability to kick somebody off a ledge? Come on, it's like, this is Sparta. You got to do it, man. Man, I know this is probably fairly early in development the way they were talking. It feels like there's some finishing touches or some polishing touches they could add. I don't know.
Tori put up a barrier to block the way.
More intruders!
Avenge our fallen brethren!
What is that voice acting? It would be nice to have a little bit of like talking between the characters too. It doesn't have to be overwhelming, like, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy where the characters almost kind of talk over each other, but like a little bit of like, I've got this, or, you know, leave it to me, or something like that, you know, like, or good job, or watch out, like something like that, just to kind of, because like right now they're just like super quiet when they're fighting, and it's kind of weird.
All citizens must remain indoors until the magical anomaly is fully contained.
Come on. Guess we're sliding down.
They're allies of Nev Gallus! Kill them all!
Stellar Blade did that better.
Tetris. The Venatori own these streets. Venatori, take your revenge!
Not the worst timing.
What is that hat?
Nev, it's so good to see you. We thought the Venatori had kidnapped you.
They thought the same thing. A lot of Venatori in the city have reason to hate me. Figured I'd play along. Find out who wanted to settle the score this time.
What?
Then the sky started raining demons. So I'm back on the job.
Appreciate it. Rook, this is Nev Gallus, our local expert. She's gonna help us find Solus. Nev, meet Rook. Both of you have done some work for the Shadow Dragons.
Isn't that a coincidence?
Oh, it's a prosthetic foot. I was like, what is that foot?
Working in Tevinter, the Shadow Dragons are worth trusting.
We haven't got a lot of time. Barrick said you had a lead on Solus?
You get right to the point. I haven't seen Solus in person, but I did find hints of old magic, similar to what you get in Elven ruins. I traced it to a building beneath Our Lady of Victory. That's where your man is hiding.
Then let's go. Before this ritual he's doing gets any worse.
Worse, this ritual's already drawing more power than I'd expect from a dozen mages. You told me he was working alone.
I also told you he was an ancient elven god.
An elven god. Well, whatever he is, he's causing trouble in my city. Let's go.
All citizens in the canal district must remain in their homes.
Okay. So first impressions of just this little bit leading up to it, it really does feel a lot less like Dragon Age than I was expecting. I mean, it's a cool setting. I mean, I love the shots of like the city and everything. And I mean, the characters seem okay so far. Obviously, Rook is the character you'll be making, and so you'll get to do your dialogue and all that. So the dialogue trees seem preserved from Dragon Age, although I felt like Dragon Age had more options. It's been a while since I played them, so as I stare at my Dragon Age Origins. But yeah, so some of it's there. And the spell checks and the ability tree and all that, that was, you know, that could definitely mix things up a bit. The one thing I noticed is you can't really do anything with the other members. They're just kind of there. Okay. And like I said, it'd be nice to see them talk a little bit more or something. It just feels very empty when you're fighting. It doesn't even feel like they're there for the most part. Maybe that's a design choice, but it just feels really weird. Other than that, I mean, it's not Dragon Age, but it's not terrible either. So I don't know. I mean, we got the second half of the gameplay demo, and obviously they're just kind of showing off like the early part of the game. So who knows where this takes you? It seems like it would have a fun narrative. So I don't know. Let's keep going. I still think that hat is stupid.
Well, we're not in Minrathous anymore.
I know these trees. This is Arlethan Forest.
And there's your ritual. The power involved. I've never seen anything like it.
The tremors are getting worse.
And we've got demons.
They don't look like demons.
I thought the demons were bad back in Minrathous.
The Fade's a mess this close to the ritual. No telling what could come through.
Does it feel like those tremors are getting worse?
Keep moving and try not to think about it.
The team battles their way deeper into Arlethan Forest until they arrive at Solus ritual site. Hey, we've seen that guy before.
We have to stop this demon quickly.
The ability wheel is used to issue commands and direct your companions, locked at this early point in the game. Okay, so it will actually let you... Okay. For what it's worth.
Watch the lightning!
How did a demon this large get through the veil?
It's a pride demon. Damn thing probably sensed Solus's ego.
Everyone all right?
Good enough. Let's get to Solus.
Oh yeah, real subtle.
All right. I'll take it from here.
Are you sure?
Positive. You three just keep the demons off me while I talk to him.
Varric, Solus isn't gonna stop just because an old friend asks nicely.
Solus needs someone to sell him another option, to help him justify changing his mind.
You can do it.
Come on, Varric. We didn't come all this way just to talk to him.
He was my friend, Rook. I gotta try to reach him. But if he won't listen to me, then he'll hear from Bianca.
More demons.
Rook, take care of the team for me. Hey, Chuckles. Hope I'm not interrupting.
Let's buy him some time.
I hope Varric is getting through to Solus.
We better
Okay, they were just one-shotting these guys in the cinematic. And now it takes you like a whole bunch of attacks just to kill them.
talk fast. We can't hold these demons off forever.
Is a wound inflicted upon this world. It must be healed.
By drowning the world in demons?
I have taken precautions to minimize the damage, Varric.
minimize the... People are dying right now. You need to listen. Please.
People are always dying. It is what they do.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Shit.
But he doesn't have to be a dick about it.
Do you want me to take the shot?
Won't work. He's too powerful.
What if we disrupt the ritual?
How?
See those statues? If we break the scaffolding holding that one up, the whole thing will come down on Solus.
It's risky. Interrupting a ritual of this scale will have consequences.
And what about the demons? Varric needs us to hold them off.
Right, you two stay here. I'll bring down the statue.
What? No. Stepping into all that raw magic is suicide.
The storm could tear you apart.
Anyone got a better idea?
Fine, but you'll need backup. I'm with you.
I'm a mage. I'll go.
Either way, someone needs to stay back and deal with the demons.
Okay.
Let's go.
So you have the approval system, and you have an actual consequence to your choices, hopefully.
Hardy. Nev, keep the demons off us.
You got it.
Why tear down the veil, knowing all the lives it'll cost?
We shared a journey years ago. Do you believe that I would do this if there was some other better option?
The pillar's weak, but
It isn't falling. We need to push it.
I'm with you.
Together, now!
You came a long way and made a valiant effort, Varric, but this story does not end with my downfall.
Push!
The hell are those things? I wanted to see that. Like, what? Okay, so these must be like new demons or something? I'm not sure. I mean, this part back here was kind of silly where he's like attacking the... Let's see if I can just make this a little easier. Yeah, this part right here, he's attacking the... Oh my gosh. Like this, I just... What? Like, was there really no other mechanic they could have done here? Like, and then the pushing this thing. Like, are you kidding me? Like, how heavy this thing is? And you're gonna ask the dwarf and this guy to just, yeah, no, we'll push it over. This thing's like 200,000 tons. It's not that precarious. Come on. If they had like some kind of a physics answer to that. Like, you know, like they use some kind of leverage to push it or something. That would have made sense, but like, come on. I mean, all right, so like the cinematics are good. Like these aren't bad at all. It's the and I guess the tone isn't terrible either, but it doesn't feel anything like Dragon Age. Also, like calling these things demons, it just there's no like visceral elements of this. They just don't. They feel cheap. Like these feel like generic monsters that you would make because you don't want like a mature rating. If that makes any sense, like these are just like generic looking demon things. They're not even demons. They're just like they could be anything. They could be like purple elementals or something. This the neon glow thing going on. It's like I don't get it. They don't look anything like what you would think of demons. It just doesn't. None of this feels like Dragon Age. That just, yeah. The hat thing is just fucking stupid. I mean, look, I don't hate it at all. But this doesn't feel anything like Dragon Age. This feels like I hate to say it, but it feels like a Critical Role game. You know? I mean, without the humor even. Because, like, the character bantering is just not that good. I mean, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, this is a very small vertical slice of what the game is. I'm a big fan of vistas in games, and I love that vista. When they show that shot a little bit later of like, you know, like the whole fortress thing and all that, but like just showing you like the whole city skyline just looks cool. You know, this right here, the big statue of it. Like, I really love it when games do this kind of stuff and just show you that, like, yeah, there's this big world there that you'll get to explore at some point, maybe. You know, so because otherwise this felt super linear. Like, just follow the path and scripted events happen, and then there's some cinematics and a couple of fights. You know, it just, and the combat felt lame. I'm hoping there's more to it than this. Because this just feels like a hack and slash. I mean, they do kind of hint that, like, later on you can direct your companions a little bit, but, like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot that you have to prove. But to me, it feels like this game was made with this kind of idea that, like, they're going to be attracting a new audience. And they're hoping that the Dragon Age faithful will kind of, you know, stick around for the ride. But, like, I don't know. It just, there's a darker level to Dragon Age. You know, like, to be fair, I haven't played the newer Dragon Age games. I did watch Carnage play some of them, and they seem to kind of match the similar vibe of, like, Dragon Age Origins, which was a much deeper experience in terms of world building and stuff. But the monsters in that game were, like, no joke. You know, like, they weren't, like, kid-friendly monsters. You know, and I don't know. It just, I think what I would like to see from this is maybe perhaps like a longer, like something like setting this a little bit further into the future of the game. You know, just some random point, or at least changing things up a little. Like, this is interesting here. Then, like, obviously they're trying to keep some of the systems in, but like I said, it's just, it does feel like we're just missing something here. So it looks good, but I'm not sure it feels like Dragon Age. So So yeah, it's like a meh out of 10. So, but yeah, I mean, there's just some points here where it's a little silly, and the dialogue is like very cringe at some points where it's like, it just feels like really lame writing. But
gonna stop just because an old friend asks nicely?
I mean, he did for like a minute or two. So, anyways, there you go. That's Dragon Age Veilguard gameplay teaser. So, I didn't hate it, but at the same time, it feels kind of weird. I wonder what comments are here. One of my friends got divorced twice since the last Dragon Age. Party members got Oblivion NPC energy. Yeah. Damn the demons, him eating the neon lights again. Nothing says dark fantasy more than your monitor glowing like the 4th of July. Yeah. So this game is Dragon Age Inquisition 2 Electric Boogaloo. Yeah. We don't want to look conspicuous as the dwarf with a massive crossbow jogging all over the place. I know, I was thinking the same thing. Oh man. Yeah, the dialogue is definitely forced, and the ambient lines are just kind of... I showed my brother the gameplay. He's never played Dragon Age, and he thought it was a new Star Wars game. It's got Jedi Survivor vibes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really sure, like... He didn't bend for his loved one. Why would he do it for a friend? Yeah. Dragon Age Dreadwolf sounds so much better than calling him Dragon Age the Veilguard. Yeah, the Veilguard's just not really a name you're going to sell people on. Yeah, no health bar for ally. Ally do minimum to no damage to enemies. Enemies only target your character. They specifically say that command and control is still preview the specific for adult. Yeah. Yeah. This is very early. You can just kind of tell that it's like this is very much like a scripted vertical slice. You know, and that this is not very far into the game. But yeah, it just feels a little rough, and I don't know. Co-Carnage actually watched this. Let me see what he says. See, does he have a video up here? Yeah. Oh, it's a 31 minute. Ugh.
Okay.
All right. I'm really curious what he thinks, though.
Here we go. We'll start over from the beginning for the YouTube guys. Hi, YouTube. Cody,
Hi, Co.
We're about to watch for the first time the Dragon Age The Veilguard.
Hi, Co. I'm watching this on Twitch. YouTube to Twitch to YouTube to Twitch.
20-minute thing. I am a huge Dragon Age fan. I'm very excited to check this out. And my biggest hopes are that it's not simpler than Inquisition, and that it still has a real focus on environment, story, and like that type of thing.
Oh God. And I can already tell he's not going to be happy.
But we'll see. Let's do it. Let's see what we got. This is your first look at Dragon Age Veilguard. The following footage was captured
Hope
from
Ned's as
software.
good at finding people as you claim.
She's the best damn detective I've ever met. If she says she's got a lead on Solus, I believe her.
I mean, it does look cool.
Be in more of a hurry to get out of here.
We don't want to look conspicuous. Just get out of here nice and casual. Find Nev Gallus and stop Solus.
It is very, very pretty.
I do agree with him on that. And I know we're rewatching this, but I wanted to watch this on my own for my own opinions, and then kind of wanted Ko's. I like Ko a lot, and I know he really likes these kind of games. You know, he's very big into Dragon Age, so I really kind of value his opinion on this, and so I kind of wanted to get his reaction. I'm not sure we'll watch the entire video, but we'll at least get through some of this, you know, some of his early impressions.
That ritual is
I really want to see what he thinks about the combat.
going to tear down the veil. The only thing separating us from the Fade and an endless number of demons. I have to talk him down.
Wait! But I didn't do anything!
Get down.
Are they after us? Is it because of the bar?
Word travels fast in Minrathous.
We've got to help her.
We don't have time to get arrested, especially Oh, crap.
We're too late.
The ritual started. But if we hurry, we can still stop Solus before it finishes. Let's go! Harding's this way. She'll get us to Dumont Plaza.
Watch out! Is Solus summoning demons on purpose?
My guess is
Oh,
the
that
veil's
poor woman.
weakening, and they're slipping through the cracks.
And when the veil comes down completely?
Then the whole world is going to look a lot like this. Come on, this way. It should get us to Harding.
You're safe now. Get inside and bar the doors quick as you can, okay?
Thank you, miss.
Harding, you all right?
I
I've
love
been doing what I
Bianca.
can to help. The ritual must be weakening the veil. There are a lot
Bianca
of scared
looks
people
great.
out here.
And a lot of demons. Haven't seen this many come through the Fade in years.
What about you two? Are you okay?
Oh. Okay, so we're going back to this from Inquisition. Cool. Interesting.
We're good, but we need to move.
Agreed. Solus isn't waiting, neither can we.
Have you got my gear?
Right over there. Where's Nev Gallus? Wasn't she at the meeting point?
The Venatori got to her first. They grabbed her before we arrived and paid off the bar owner to keep it quiet.
I'm not surprised our detective did something to piss off a cult of murderous blood mages, but their timing stinks. The bar owner said the Venatori took Nev to Dumont Plaza. Can you get us there, Harding?
Rook, you're with the Shadow Dragons. I figured you'd know Minrathous better than I do.
Sure, but Minrathous is huge.
Oh, it's based on his background
This is
stuff.
nowhere near my neighborhood. I can try.
Don't worry. Scouting's my specialty. Follow me.
Eyes up. We've got company.
Demons, here they come.
There's no prompts on the screen. He's got potions on right and 8 of 8 arrows. Health is segmented into 5 things like the last one.
Uh-oh.
They're definitely going the Inquisition super arcadey combat. No surprise. Is that a parry system? Yeah, it's a parry system. So here's the thing: they've turned Dragon Age from an RPG
Good. Let's get
into
to Dumont
an
Plaza
action
and find
RPG.
Nev.
Like,
Patch yourselves up if you need it.
I kind of was expecting this.
Okay, so he's not surprised, but he's not happy about it.
I don't get it.
I mean, I like
Solus
ARPGs.
tears down the veil. Doesn't that destroy everything?
I'm kind of hoping the rest of the game is good enough, but it does. It does.
The
Suck.
ancient world
I feel.
was.
That work.
I already feel like this is going to be one of those situations where it's like, it might be a good game, but maybe not a good Dragon Age. You know what I mean? Like one of those situations where it's like, yeah, it might be fine. It could be fun to run around in. Could have good characters. Could have a fun story. I want to know what happens to Solus. But it's like, it is unfortunate. I feel like it's unfortunate that that this is so different from where it started. It's just.
The world existed before the veil, and he wants to bring it back.
Even if his ritual kills us all in the process.
It is very pretty.
Venatory cultists!
That's weird.
I hate these assholes.
Interesting. That seems a little heavy. Huh. The characters are a little
Looks
cartoony.
like the
They are.
Venatori put up a barrier to
All the
block
graphics are a little
way.
cartoony. But then again, Dragon Age has never been like super realistic.
Avenge our fallen brethren!
That's fair. That's fair.
I don't know how I feel about those white lines and yellow lines. I feel like that might be a bit much. Maybe you can turn them off. There's
For immersion's sake, I can see why you'd want to turn them off, but they seem very useful in knowing when things are around you that you may want to dodge, that you're not going to be able to see because you're too busy focusing on what's in front of you.
no party control. Oh yeah, there's no prompts at least.
All citizens must remain indoors until the magical anomaly is fully contained.
Oh, Chad's saying there is, just not direct control.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
Guess we're sliding down.
They're allies of Neb Gallus! Kill them all!
I will say, I keep coming back to the fact that. Whoa. No. I mean, these are the abilities on the left and right side are your companions. You can see your abilities are on the bottom, and I think the two sides are your companions. No? Yeah. Okay. That's weird. It's literally Mass Effect. Yeah. It is kind of interesting because one of the Mass Effect leads was like really, like hardcore all over Twitter trying to defend Dragon Age. And I'm seeing a whole lot of Mass Effect influence in this. And it makes me wonder, like, how much was he involved? Like maybe he was taking a little personally that people were tagging it because he was involved somehow. Like, I don't.
You know, I never really thought about that. It does actually have a lot of Dragon Age influence in it. But I mean, or Mass Effect influence. But I mean, like, both were originally BioWare products, so I don't know. The history of Dragon Age and Mass Effect as franchises is really weird.
I don't know. Yeah, there definitely seems to be a lot of that in here. Are you immune from damage when you do those moves? What do you mean the Sandus? Is that a hat?
Alright, hiding. Not the worst timing.
Oh.
Nev, it's so good
Nev.
to see you. We thought the Venatori had kidnapped you.
They thought the same thing. A lot of Venatori in the city have reason to hate me. Figured I'd play along. Find out who wanted to settle the score this time.
What the heck? Oh,
Then
dude,
the
she's got.
sky started
That's a
raining
crazy leg.
demons.
That's awesome.
So I'm back on the job.
Appreciate it. Rook, this is Nev Gallus, our local expert. She's gonna help us find Solus. Nev, meet Rook. Both of you have done some work for the Shadow Dragons.
Isn't that a coincidence?
Some old friends said if I was working in Tevinter, the Shadow Dragons are worth trusting.
We haven't got a lot of time. Varric said you had a lead on Solus?
You get right to the point. I haven't seen Solus in person, but I did find hints of old magic, similar to what you get in elven ruins. I traced it to a building beneath Our Lady of Victory. That's where your man is hiding.
Then let's go. Before this ritual he's doing gets any worse.
Worse, this ritual's already drawing more power than I'd expect from a dozen mages. You told me he was working alone.
I also told you he was an ancient elven god.
An elven god. Well, whatever he is, he's causing trouble in my city. Let's go.
Voice acting's on point.
All citizens in the canal districts must remain in their homes.
Well,
Somebody said they're
not
tired of all the
restless
hate on
anymore.
Dragon Age.
I know
Dude.
these trees.
Here's the thing. I have, like, at the end of the day, when you make a bunch of games over a period of time and you completely change what the game is, that is going to rub some people the wrong way that loved it how it was.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, it doesn't matter what the game franchise is. If you get people pulled into the franchise and the first like one or two games are very similar to each other, you know, people love the first one, you make the sequel, it's pretty similar to the first, the second one, whatever. Anyways, and then you get to the third one, and suddenly the third one is just like it just takes this like right turn. Yeah, you're gonna get people bitching because that's not the game they paid. Like that's not the franchise they recognize. It looks it, but they don't play it.
More importantly, they're going to feel kind of slighted because they're like, you had something amazing. Like, why did you take this from us? Why didn't you keep being awesome? Why did you do this? Why didn't you give us what we wanted? Why is this dumbed down, like, genericized thing when we could have had like an amazing deep Baldur's Gate 3 style Dragon Age?
Yep.
So do I feel that way? I'm kind of torn on it. I'm kind of torn on it because the devs don't owe us anything. And games are art. And who are we to demand that devs make art that we want to look at? That's one half of it. But the other half of it is that game dev is also about managing expectations. So like, and when you shift the entire tone and genre of your game over its time, that's a thing too. So like one half of me is like, and if you can't tell, this is a very conflicting thing for me, but one half of me wants to be like, yeah, let's just take it for what it is. We'll just treat it as its standalone product and be excited for the parts we like and talk about the parts we don't, like we do it all. And the other part of me is like, as a DAO fan, I have actual sadness and frustration that Dragon Age the Veilguard is not going to be going up against Baldur's Gate 3. Because that's the timeline I would have wanted. I would have wanted Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age Origins 2, and then Dragon Age the Veilguard to be Baldur's Gate 3 in the Dragon Age world with all the Dragon Age Origin mechanics. That's what I wanted. So it's like,
that's a tall ask, though. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like there is a deep amount of story and lore in the Dragon Age Origins universe, but like Baldur's Gate is so like when developers were saying that Baldur's Gate 3 was a fantastic game that the rest of the industry wasn't really going to be able to meet that challenge. That the expectations were going to be ruined by through like other games were going to kind of dash the expectations that Baldur's Gate 3 was going to set. I think games like this is what they meant, because like having played through Baldur's Gate 3, now understands what a game could offer, and here's a potential next Baldur's Gate 3 level experience in Dragon Age Origins, providing that same level of lore and character development storytelling with the Dragon Age mechanics and universe and everything. And instead you're getting something that is, I hate to say it, a bit more dumbed down, right? It's more linear. It's more, action gamer oriented. It is not Dragon Age as fans first came into it and enjoyed. The franchise has morphed a lot from one that was a bit more story, lore, strategy focused to something now like this, where those elements are still there, but they have been streamlined and simplified to the point where the game doesn't really resemble what it did when you go back and you look at like how the game used to be. So yeah, I totally relate to his being of two minds about it, but the problem with Baldur's Gate 3 is that there's just not going to be a lot of games with developers being interested in putting that level of focus into the game. It's just going to be really hard to meet that challenge, at least for the time being. I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 just came out, and this game's been in development for a while. I just don't see EA, letting that kind of like creativity flow into a game like this. I hate to say it.
I'm never going to get that. It's not going to happen again. It's not. So what we need to decide now is, do we just stay angry and rage at what we have and just scream in vain into the night? Or do we just take this for what it is, enjoy the parts we like, and talk about the parts we don't? That's the decision we have now. That's what we get to do. What I'm going to do...
He's not wrong.
...is the latter. I am going to say that this is not a good Dragon Age game for me, because my good Dragon Age is Origins. That's what I preferred. That was my preference. It might be a fine action RPG in the Dragon Age world. It might be a great story and good characters, and I would like to see that story and those characters. And if I have to go to an ARPG to do that, fine. I like ARPGs, whatever. It's not going to be my Dragon Age. Like, my Dragon Age kind of, in some ways, lived and died with Origins. But this could be good. I mean, this could be fine. This could be good. Maybe there's some awesome twists and turns. Maybe there's a great story. Like, I don't want to write this off just because I like an old game better. That makes sense?
Yep.
Like, I don't know.
I agree with them.
I don't...
Because the alternative here is that you just go on social media, Twitter, Reddit, whatever, and you complain and you complain and you complain about how it's not your Dragon Age, and you create this dumb, angry campaign that really doesn't do anything, Like, there can always be another type of Dragon Age Origins in the future. It doesn't necessarily have to be this game. All this game has to do is be fun to play, tell a good story, with great characters in a fun setting. Because that's what games are supposed to be, right? If this doesn't necessarily meet the criteria of like that Dragon Age Origins type gameplay, well, I mean, it's just different. But different doesn't mean bad, it's just different. So I don't disagree with Ko here. It's better to kind of take it for what it is, look at the pieces, and yeah. And like I said before, this is a vertical slice. It's very like shrunken down, minimal. Like we have like the very beginning of Dragon Age Origins, is a very different experience from the rest of the game. And most games are like that. Like the first level of a game is but you once you get past that, I mean, like, games tend to kind of open up into a really like wide type thing. Like, not every game is as linear as you think, and especially in like these story based games. Like he said, you don't know what kind of twists and turns are here. These characters might become a lot more interesting. You might grow attached to them. You might come away from this game having a wonderful experience. And yeah, I mean, it's not really the Dragon Age you wanted, but it doesn't mean that this is bad.
It seems self-destructive to do that. And I feel like I might miss something cool. So anyway, I don't know why I decided to pause it and say all that, but I saw some people in chat kind of saying something similar. So that's where I am right now. I'm going to watch the rest of this and I'm going to be like, hey, looks fun. Like, maybe I'll see something that interests me. But at the end of the day, what is this? It is a genericized, simplified look into the Dragon Age world as an ARPG.
Yep.
We'll just take it for what it is and be sad or not sad about what it's not and go from there. So anyway, yeah, let's keep going.
This is our
I didn't really expect anything
And there's
besides
your ritual.
that, really.
The
But
power involved. I've never seen anything like it.
all this stuff looks cool. Like, I don't know what that floating fortress
The
is. I
tremors
don't know.
are getting worse.
All this is cool.
And we've got demons.
It looks like we're doing barrier and shield, or barrier and armor again. Oh, cast the ability without bringing up the wheel.
I thought the demons were bad back in Minrathous.
The Fade's a mess this close to the ritual. No telling what
Am I playing? No. We're watching the preview.
Does it feel like those tremors are getting worse?
Keep moving and try not to think about it.
This beginning has real Inquisition vibes. Like, in a lot of ways, they're kind of doing something similar, just with different players. Or maybe. I guess we'll see what happens here. On a much bigger scale.
Right. This demon quickly.
Oh, there it is right there. The ability wheel is used to issue commands and direct it.
Watch the lightning!
Just kind of blow through this a little bit.
It's a pride demon. Damn thing probably sensed Solus's ego.
Why do I say that? I say that because the combat looks a little more dodgy, a little faster, and it looks like it's designed to last much longer. Well, I guess this is a boss fight, so I don't know. Actually, how much damage that does.
Everyone all right?
Good enough. Let's get to
Is the player a
Solus.
rogue? Yeah. Oh, there's my boy! Are they actually going to show this scene?
All right, I'll take it from here.
Somebody earlier said,
Positive. You three just keep the demons off me while I talk
and this
to
is
him.
really interesting.
Varric, Solus isn't gonna stop just because an old friend asks nicely.
I'm just going to say this real quick because I feel like we brought up some interesting things to think about, and I want to add this to it because what this guy said is a really good point, and it's interesting. What he said was, how do you reconcile appreciating the games as art and appreciating where the game is now as opposed to where it was when most of the team that made the original game is no longer working on this? And that's an interesting point. Like, that's a real interesting point. And it gets even more messy if you're like, what if the people that made the original game don't like the direction of this one?
I don't know if you want to think too deeply about that.
Like that brings up an entirely different discussion where it's like, whoa. So that's interesting. That's interesting. Something to consider when you're thinking about this game. But yeah, it doesn't really change my thoughts on it, but it certainly is something else to think about. Yeah.
Solus needs someone to sell him another option to help him justify changing his mind.
Oh.
Come on, Varric. We didn't come all this way just to talk to him.
He was my friend, Rook. I gotta try to reach him.
Do the facial animations look like they're slow?
To me, then he'll hear from Bianca.
A little bit.
I feel like they're like running at half speed or something. They're syncing with the words, but they're like...
Rook, take care of the team for me.
Dude, I feel like this is a huge spoiler.
Hope I'm not interrupting.
There he is, man. Okay, seeing that turnaround actually gave me little chills. So I think I am in enough in this world and story to like possibly.
Let's buy it.
That definitely gave me like some little chills. that's definitely a ramification from my previous enjoyment of the game. Maybe there's enough of that to carry me through this one.
Varric is getting through to Solus.
We better talk fast. We can't hold these demons off forever.
Inflicted upon this world, it must be healed.
By drowning the world in demons?
I have taken precautions to minimize the damage, Varric.
Minimize the... People are dying right now. You need to listen. Please.
Oh no! Oh god, he's dead. Varric's dead.
People are always dying. It is what they do.
Damn.
Shit. We need a better
He's
plan.
not wrong.
Do you want me to take the shot?
I said the same thing.
What if we disrupt the ritual?
How?
See those statues? If we break the scaffolding holding that one up, the whole thing will come down on Solus.
It's risky. Interrupting a ritual of this scale will have consequences.
And what about the demons? Varric needs us to hold them off.
Right. You two stay here. I'll bring down the statue.
What? No. Stepping into all that raw magic is suicide.
The storm could tear you apart.
Anyone got a better idea?
Fine, but you'll need backup. I'm with you.
I'm a mage. I'll go.
Either way, someone needs to stay back and deal with the demons.
Who wrote that line? I'm a mage. I'll go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, duh, we already knew.
Nev, keep the demons off us.
You got it.
Wow, that looks really good. If they have enough cool scenes like this, man, like This is just legit cool. This is good. This is good. Oh yeah, he's basically just holding W. But I mean, it looks pretty. Looks pretty good music.
Why tear down the veil, knowing all the lives it'll cost?
We shared a journey years ago. Do you believe that I would do this if there was some other better option?
The pillar's weak, but
It isn't falling. We need to push it.
I'm with you.
Together, now! You came a long way and made a valiant effort, Varric, but this story does not end with my downfall. Push!
Almost looked like he was getting sucked into the portal there.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see what Ko's final thoughts are.
Okay. So,
Applause, please.
I think pretty much everything I said earlier stands. Where I do have to say though, like, I noticed multiple occasions of not good writing and very poor delivery. And I don't mean like the voice actors did a bad job. I mean like the people telling them how to deliver the lines didn't do a good job.
Ooh.
Like, you know,
That's rough, buddy.
Just it looks really pretty, and it looks like there might be some cool story stuff in there. I will say that the Dragon Age story as a whole got legitly and actually interesting at the end of the Inquisition DLC. I do want to see where that goes, and I want to see what they're going to do with it. I can say that that will be enough to get me to play this game beginning to end, which is good. So, from what I've seen, to be blunt, I was worried this was going to be like some kind of half live service, crazy like quest hub. Like, I was concerned that we were going to see what this project used to be before it converted. And it is not nearly as bad as I was hoping. I went in with far more concerns than I'm leaving with. I'm still obviously not sold. But I mean, I entered this worried that I was going to watch this and then end it and be like, not for me. That was my concern. But I definitely left that being like, you know what? Yeah, that'll be worth the playthrough. It's fine out of 10 for what it is. Is it a fine Dragon Age game? Personally, if you're asking for my opinion, no. Dragon Age Origins is Dragon Age. That's my Dragon Age. This is not anything like that game at all.
Some of these comments are interesting. I'm not sure how true they are. Like this guy, Co Carnage, you said the Inquisition for you was on the same level as Origins. Another guy up here was saying, let's see here.
Some kind of half live service.
Where was it?
Crazy like quest hub. Like I was.
That's called Dio Nostalgia, and you're projecting Baldur's Gate 3 into Dragon's Age. That's the wrong mentality coming into the game, and any disappointment is your own doing. We knew Bio was on Shaky Last repeated failure. He owns them. It's just the fact they're not giving us life service game is a big win.
Concerned that we were going to see what this project used to be before it converted. And
Go Carnage. There are so many games. Why waste time on a bad product? I can't play every game I have to work. I'm not interested in playing this. I mean, so Nikki Jiki had a video the other day talking about the defense of the 7 out of 10 game. And my take from that whole video is really just that there are games for everybody. Like, when you look at a rating system and you look at games, a lot of times, if it doesn't score like a 8 or a 9 or a 10, people automatically disregard the game as like a piece of junk. It's total garbage, should never be played, right? But the thing is a 7 out of 10 game, heck, a 5 out of 10 game is average. It's not a great game. It's got flaws, right? Maybe the animations aren't that great, or the voice acting is kind of crap, or maybe it's both those things, right? But like, there's something about the game to somebody out there where this game is going to be endearing to them. Games aren't made and shouldn't be made for everybody, because that's a terrible way to make a game. Because what you end up with is a game that doesn't make anybody happy. It's boring. That's the worst crime a game can have, is to be boring. The worst crime any piece of entertainment can have is to be boring, right? It needs to have an audience, and that audience has to find it interesting. And boring things aren't interesting, right? So this game, the biggest crime this game could have is to be completely boring, right? Like, it could be, a generic story with characters you don't care about, right? And the thing is that still doesn't mean that it's a bad game, right? There are tons of games. Ubisoft makes everything Ubisoft makes is like a 7 out of 10 game. There's nothing Ubisoft makes that's really a good game, but they have a good formula. It's comfort food for people. That's why people like to buy it. That's why people spend all that stupid amount of money on them, because it's comfort food for them, right? If you only go around looking for the cream of the crop, you're missing the rest of the crop. It's not bad, right? So there's an audience for these games. So wasting time on a bad product, it's not a bad product. There are bad games out there, absolutely. This will not be one of those games. Will it be probably not everybody's game? Most likely, yeah. This game, I don't feel has a wide reach, which is why when I look at a game like this, and I see how streamlined and kind of, I hate to say the word dumbed down, but like simplified compared to its predecessors that this game is, I have to question, is this a design choice meant to appeal to a more mainstream crowd? Or is this a design choice of, people looking at the game and going, maybe these older systems weren't quite as good or intuitive for the audience? Is this an iteration or a change because of a marketing strategy? It's hard to say. Game development's weird and messy. So, yeah, not everyone's going to be interested, and that's okay. Variety is good.
And it is not nearly as bad.
Especially because one of the stupid memes we see going around these days is that Sonic the Hedgehog, where they're like, I want worse games with worse graphics, blah, 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 Yeah, because of the fact that games are so expensive to make and they take so long to make and come out, and the end result is, you might have a God of War Ragnarok or a Last of Us 2 or whatever, right? But there's so many smaller budget games that could have been made in that time frame, right? Well, I don't know how long it took to make this game. It's a very pretty looking game, but maybe this is AA. I don't know, right? It's not a bad thing.
Bad as I was hoping.
Like this kind of attitude. Good game to buy when it's $5. I mean, my good Dragon Age is Inquisition, so everyone has preferences. Exactly.
I went in with far more concerns than I'm leaving with. I'm still...
So, yeah. You still liked Inquisition second time, though? And he did. I watched Ko actually play some of the not the entire playthrough, but I watched him to do a playthrough of Dragon Age Inquisition. I believe at the time, this was like a year ago, he was looking to kind of catch up on the franchise because he thought this was going to be, the next game was going to be announced soon. It wasn't. But I watched him play it, and honestly, he looked like he was having a pretty good time with it. Obviously, it was not Dragon Age Origins to him. He had already just got done playing that. But the changes weren't like the end of the world for him. The changes, he was able to deal with them, move on, and it looked like he had a pretty good time with the game. So,
obviously not sold. But I mean, I entered this worried that I was going to watch this and then end it and be like, not for me. That was my concern. But
negative talk.
I definitely left that being like, you know what? Yeah, that'll be worth the playthrough. It's fine out of 10 for what it is.
Fine out of 10. That's a good way of putting it. It's fine.
Is it a fine Dragon Age game? Personally, if you're asking for my opinion, no. Dragon Age Origins is Dragon Age. That's my Dragon Age. This is not anything like that game at all. It might as well be a different franchise. It is a different franchise. So, that being said, although I do not feel, I don't know if I'd play the game if it wasn't related to Dragon Age, to be honest, but because it is, it's enough for me to come in, let's do it, let's check it out, let's continue the story, and let's go from there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it certainly didn't wow me, but I like that it's clearly a single player game. The action stuff looked fine, looked like it's gonna work, looked fine. Some of the combat looked pretty fun, was flat.
Yeah. So, ultimately it seems like he's pretty happy with it. So, good for him. Alrighty. I think that was kind of it for gameplay reveals. I think there was some others. I think Avowed had a gameplay reveal. I don't remember if there was one. There's a gameplay trailer, but I don't think there was actually a gameplay reveal. So yeah. I guess. I don't know. Alright. Let's see here. Alright. Let's see here. Close all that out. Alrighty. So that was me ranting and raving about Dragon Age Origins for almost 2 hours. Wow. Yeah. I'm passionate about dumb things. That's how it goes, right? You just have to find the dumbest things possible to waste your time on. I really like Dragon Age. I think it's a cool franchise. I just, this is a problem I have with a lot of EA stuff. Is they'll bring out the first game and it's really good. The second game maybe it's pretty good, maybe it's not. But by the time you get to the third game or the fourth game, it just feels like so much has changed by that point. Hey, Master Kazam. Appreciate the good job ×3. What do you think about the game? Hit or miss? Don't really care? I don't know. I think I'm all game trailered out, to be honest. So many of the reveals and everything. I think I would look forward to just playing all these new games instead of just looking at trailers and previews and stuff about them. So, I mean, I definitely have enough on my list of games for the fall that I'm not really looking for anything new. There's going to be so many, not just the big budget stuff, but just a lot of smaller stuff. I mean, if I was pro streamer, lots of money guy, or had access to review codes, maybe I'd be able to play them all, but there's no way. I mean, you're looking at, there's Space Marine, Silent Hill 2, Astrobot. I mean, there's so many coming out this year. It's and they're all good looking games. So it's weird to bitch about the gaming industry in one sense, because there's a lot of great games coming out. Whether it's indie or AA or AAA, from the perspective of the gamer, times are pretty good. They're not perfect, but they're not bad either. if you got in the inside of the wonky stuff, it's a little weird. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt. Like, it's a very pretty game, some cool physics stuffy, but everything else was like, yeah, I think Ko is right. It's a 5 out of 10. It's not amazing. It's not great. It is a very small vertical slice. Maybe future gameplay reveals will kind of make the game look more interesting. But yeah, there's a ton of games like it at this point. And that's the thing with like Dragon Age is like Dragon Age Origins stood out for its combination. Like if you were to think about Dragon Age Origins compared to how like Baldur's Gate 3, that's how Dragon Age Origins felt back then. Because when it came out, there really wasn't anything like it on the market. And it was, just a amazing gameplay experience if you were a big fan of like computer RPGs. And Baldur's Gate 3 picked up that torch and ran with it. Baldur's Gate 3 is amazing. And it's a shame just because it's weird. It's like watching like StarCraft, like or just any Blizzard game, watching that kind of become in many ways like more streamlined and simplified. Not saying that the original games were deep, complex masterpieces, but it's that kind of feeling of watching a franchise change over time and maybe not like recognizing it anymore. So I don't know. It's a weird feeling. I remember when Dark Souls 3 came out, there was people that didn't like it because they felt it was more like Bloodborne than it was like Dark Souls. It is interesting that when you see people talk about Dark Souls 3 doesn't come up as much. As a matter of fact, you see people play Dark Souls 1 and 2 probably more than you see people play Dark Souls 3, which, is kind of interesting, right? So, and that doesn't mean Dark Souls 3 is a bad game at all, but it does feel like the Dark Souls that people don't really go back to as much. So, I don't know. I need to track down a copy of Demon's Souls Remake. So I kind of want to play that. But yeah, it is a little strange. Like, people clamor for a Bloodborne, port or remaster or whatever. But yeah, Dark Souls 3 just kind of feels like people have always said Dark Souls 2 is like the redheaded, stepchild of the family. But yeah. Possibly. But From Software doesn't seem like they're interested in that. Especially with the success of Elden Ring, I think you probably aren't going to see too many linear action games from Software anymore. But I don't know. They might be tired of the open world formula at this point, but I think Elder Scrolls is going to have a huge shift on From Software's game development just because of how successful it is. They just posted a thing today, 25 million copies sold. That's a lot. So, I don't think they're going to look at like a Dark Souls 4 and be like, yeah, we should go back to that old formula. So I think that torch is going to have to be picked up by the indies in the future. So, which, looking at all the game trailers that we got recently, I think that the Souls-like genres is doing just fine. But yeah, I don't know. Who knows? From Software, you can never predict what their next game's going to be. I don't think anybody predicted they were going to do an Armored Core game. So, but like Armored Core is same deal. Like people were all excited about it, and it kind of came and went. They're all returning back to Elden Ring because of the DLC. But funny thing about that is if you look at the DLC requirements, like to be able to get into the DLC, and then you look at the Steam achievements for how many people meet those requirements, it's like 30% of the people who played Elden Ring meet the requirements to get into the DLC. Because it's like 2 bosses you have to beat, and one of them is kind of like off the beaten trail, and most people haven't actually beaten it. So that's going to be kind of awkward. A lot of people are going to buy that DLC and have no ability to actually play it. And so they go beat those bosses. My bottle walks out every time I drink. Oh well. I don't know. There's really nothing else to look at. So I think I've seen all the major stuff. So out of all these stuff you've seen for trailers and all that kind of stuff over the last couple of weeks here, what is the game that you want to play this fall? Silent Hill 2 Remake? Space Marine? Astrobot? You know, you just gonna like not buy any games at all? That's tempting sometimes, right? I know for sure I'm playing Astrobot Space Marine. The first Space Marine was just a really fun experience. And 2 just looks like that, but like cranked up to 11. So, Silent Hill 2 Remake, I'm probably going to play. But I don't know. That one's still kind of up in the air. Just depends. I don't even know. I mean, like, there's still the Nintendo Direct that's supposed to be coming out soon, so I don't know. There could be some crazy Nintendo stuff happening. So, you know, there might be some Nintendo games in the future. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like with all the Summer Game Fest stuff that some of the announcements I think people were expecting never really came to fruition. Like, people were expecting a PS5 Pro announcement, and that never happened. I think people were expecting, like, some AAA stuff from Sony, and there really wasn't that at all. You know, I mean, obviously Astrobot, but, like, Concord didn't really excite people at all. And that's kind of really all they had. You know, people were hailing the Microsoft conference as like this amazing presentation, but I don't know. I mean, most of it was just them showing off games they've already announced a million times before. So seeing some gameplay for those things was nice, but like, I mean, I already knew an Indiana Jones game was coming. So I don't know. It's all good though. All right. So I'm going to take a short break, get up and stretch and everything. And when I come back, we're going to fire up Resident Evil 2 Remake. So hang tight, and I'll be back. All right. We're back. Just getting a couple things set up here. All right. We're starting a new game. So I played this through the prologue a little bit just to kind of make sure everything was running right. So hopefully, especially with all the upgrades I've been doing on my PC, it should run nice and smooth and we shouldn't have any problems. Alright, we'll do Leon's story first. And we'll do it on basic.
Look, man, I'm serious, okay? I saw this with my own eyes.
Oh, I believe you, buddy. I believe you. Just tell us a story. Tell us a story.
Okay, well, it was last Friday night. I was walking home from the bar, and this woman started coming
Lovely.
up to me. She was staggering, you know, so I figured she was drunk.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, tell us, be honest now. How many drinks did you have?
No, man, I barely had a buzz on.
Oh, come on.
Look, just listen, all right? She got closer, and I got a good look at her. You had to see her eyes, her nose, her whole face. It looked like it was rotting.
Yeah.
She looked like a corpse. Like a walking corpse, man.
Sounds like my wife.
I've never seen anything like it. I haven't been able to sleep since that night.
All right, calm down, buddy. Calm down. Just, hey, you gotta stay strong, okay? Don't give in to fear out there, right?
Yeah, well, you got that right. If you freeze up around these things, it'll sink their teeth in you. I should attack somebody.
Oh, come on. Just getting good. I need some sleep. Oh, shit!
Realistically, there shouldn't be anything left of this chick.
What do I do? What am I gonna do?
Didn't even turn his radio off.
No one's around. That's weird.
That's weird. Welcome to Silent Hill. See how far it lets us go before it makes us turn around.
Nothing out here.
Oh, not very. It's kind of a spooky cut, though. It's like, poof, he's staring at you. 24 hours. And they got 90s gas prices, right? Wish they were this cheap now. See what's going on here. Actually, anything else over here we can look at? No. Ah, okay.
Hello? Anybody there? Something's not right. You all right? Don't move. I'll be back for you.
Stop moving.
Officer, you need help?
Stay back, sir. I got this.
You don't got it. Wow, what's with the frame rate on the stream?
Freeze! I'll shoot!
Ah.
Shit!
Alright, what's going on here with the stream? Why was it running like that? Hello? Hello?
No way. This kid.
Ha! Oh wait, I can't go there because it's locked now. I did just enough bullets.
What the?
Don't shoot!
Get down!
Right in the eye. Yeah.
You alright?
Yeah, I think so. Thanks.
You can thank me later, when we're safe.
Holy shit.
Come on! Get in! Hold on.
Yeah.
going on?
I don't know. Hopefully they'll have some answers at the police station.
Wait, you're a cop?
Yeah, Leon Kennedy. You are?
Claire. Claire Redfield.
Live around here?
No. I'm looking for my brother. He's a cop too.
Well, it's a good thing we found each other. I don't know what to expect anymore.
Resident Evil 2.
Attention all
It's best I got.
citizens. Due to the citywide outbreak, you are advised to take shelter at the Raccoon City Police Station. Free food and medical supplies will be provided to everyone in need.
Oh my god, this is so unreal.
Police station's not much farther. They'll know something.
Yeah, but what if we're the only ones? What if there's no
No,
survivors?
there's survivors. It's a big city. There has to be. Looks like we're walking from here.
More like running.
Yeah, good call.
Leon, we gotta back up. What the?
Holy shit. There, get out. Get out now!
I can't!
Hold on!
Ow. Bet that hurt.
Claire! Claire, are you okay?
Yeah! I'm alright! How about you?
You can't stay here, it's not safe!
Go on ahead! I'll meet you at the station!
I'll be there! This is out of control. Shit. It's everybody. They've all turned. There it is. The station.
Yeah, all this is boarded up. Looks like a way you can get in, though. This probably clears her out.
Hello? Is anybody here? There has to be someone here. Not good.
David! Marvin! You there? I found a way out! It's in here! Send reinforcements! East hallway!
I gotta find that guy.
Don't need that, so we'll store it. I guess we'll just save the game for now. Wow, that was a fast save. Man, I remember watching the original reveal of this.
Okay.
In this bit right here. A lot of missing. Turn the light on. I think that's what all was in here.
Jesus.
Open up! Hurry! Open up! Open this goddamn door!
Get him out.
Please!
Give me your hand.
Help me!
I got you. Give me your other hand. Jesus Christ.
Okay, that was pretty graphic. Okay, so medallions to statue, to elevator to I don't know, to parking to way out. This is not the most amazing map. Okay, the lion's wearing shades. I don't know what any of that means. Time to go.
Jesus! They're everywhere!
Bam. Dude. Oh, come on. Oh man, I went backwards, didn't I?
Get the fuck off!
Dude, what the heck?
Damn it! Watch out!
You're safe. For now.
Thanks.
Marvin Browner.
Leon Kennedy. There was another off strike. I couldn't.
Here. I'm sure you did what you could, Leon.
Does anyone know what started this?
Not a clue. But honestly, all you need to know is that this place will eat you alive if you aren't careful.
Yeah, well, I was supposed to start last week, and I got a call to stay away. I wish I'd come here sooner.
You're here now, Leon. That's all that matters.
Okay, Lieutenant? I'm ready.
Hopefully you'll be able to find a way out of this station. That officer you met earlier, Elliot. He thought this secret passageway might do the trick.
This is good news. We can get you to a hospital.
No, I am not the priority here.
Lieutenant, I'm not just gonna leave you here.
I'm giving you an order, rookie. You save yourself first. I'd come with you, but I'd just slow you down. Now, you'll need this.
I can't take him.
Stop. And don't make my mistake. If you see one of those things, uniform or not, you do not hesitate. You take it out, or you run. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Combat knife has a gauge. Counterattack. Alright. Poor Marvin. Okay, I don't want to go through all that again. So I'm going to save. Alright. I'm going to guess that all of this is blocked off up here. Yeah, another spade. Ooh, ammo. Oh. Oh, those are... So we got fish, scorpion, water. Oh, that's the lion. Lion, fig leaf, bird.
So Elliot was right.
Yeah, but the passage isn't open yet.
Okay, I guess that's all I was going to say. Green herb. There we go. Guide pamphlets. Did you know we got the home of pharmaceutical giant Umbrella Corporation? Raccoon City is a vibrant and dynamic city with a long, rich history of its own. In this guide, we'll introduce you just a few more unusual points of interest our city has to offer. Raccoon City Police Station. The building in the center of town wasn't always a police station. In fact, it used to be an art museum. Various features like the unusual clock tower and the goddess statue in the main hall remind us of a bygone era. An orphanage. Just a few blocks from the police station is an orphanage founded and run by the Umbrella Corporation with the help of generous donations from businesses and citizens alike. The building is known for its stained glass window, which attracted visitors from around the world. And that was it. Yeah, I got nothing. Oh, Officer of the Month is Marvin. And a missing child. And we can't get any further because we need the spade. Alright. So we've explored around the station.
This is not how I imagined my first day. Yeah, he's dead. Huh? What?
I feel like that guy's going to be a problem in the future. Record of events. September 25th, we're returning the station to a temporary shelter due to the massive sudden outbreak. All police personnel have been instructed to make the safety of the citizens their top priority as we try to accommodate as many of them as possible. September 25th, one of the refugees attacked us in the middle of the night, resulting in the death of one officer and injuring 3 others. The person in question was quickly restrained. We believe this is simply a case of someone snapping under intense stress. A mob attacked the station today, resulting in a number of casualties. A few survivors were able to make it safely behind the emergency shutters, but surrounded as we are, it'll be hard for any of us to escape this place. We're not sure if we can fix any of our comm equipment, so we may cut off from the outside world. September 27th, there's another clash on the west side of the station around 1 p.m. 12 people died, and there's only a handful of survivors left. Everything is falling at this rate here. David Ford. This. Ooh, a map. Oh, this is the west side of the station. Okay. go in there because it's blocked off. We went down that way. Gunpowder. Uses of gunpowder. Handgun ammo is gunpowder times 2. There's not a lot of ammo left around the stations. To make good use of any gunpowder you find. Different guns require different ammo, so pay attention to when you're combining things or you won't get what you need. Okay. Rookie's first assignment. Leon S. Kennedy, we're putting on a very special case for your first assignment. Your mission is to unlock your desk. The key to your success is in the initials of our first names. Input the letters in order of our desks. There are 2 locks, one on each side of your desk. Make sure you get them both. Basically, your first task is to remember officers' names, but you figured that much out, right? Good luck, Leon. By the way, it might take a little bit of work to get Scott to give you a straight answer. Scrawled in a corner between drops of blood. Be glad you're not here, rookie. Okay. We got Operation Report. September 28th is just down to me and 3 others. Hey, Sir Bow Toaster. How's it going, man? I'm doing alright. So I spent a couple hours looking at the Dragon Age Veilguard stuff, and now I'm doing the early part of Resident Evil 2 Remake. So, first time playing this. I won't be on much longer, though. Probably going to call it quits in about half an hour. But until then, let's see how far I can get tonight. Oh, congrats, man. Congrats. Nice to have all that weight off your shoulders, right? So what's left? Anything like major you got to worry about now, or is it all just easy to deal with stuff? Awesome. Awesome. I'm glad to hear it. So how many more of these exams do you have to deal with going forward? Just another year or so, or was this kind of it forever? Okay. Not too bad then. Ooh. Oh yeah, you're definitely going to want to do that after all that crap you just went through. I'm pretty sure that was pretty stressful. So I don't blame you for not wanting to deal with it right now. No hints of what this password would be, huh? Doesn't even let you mess with it. No hints about what it could be? Guess not.
Jesus.
Okay.
Son of a bitch.
Just die, man. You didn't leave me any hints. Bummer.
What the?
He's just resting his head. Okay. Medicinal benefits of herbs. Oh. Yeah, that's normal. How are we doing on health? Oh, I'm fine. Okay. Oh. Okay, that was a good jump scare. I waste my time on that. Ooh. Portable safe instructions. Yeah, I noticed that. I think they're designed to be a bit more. Oh, I was gonna scroll over, but like when more people are talking in chat, I think the Nightbot and stream elements kind of banter back and forth. But for now, it's not that busy with chat, so it doesn't happen often enough. What's the thing about auto? Okay. Portable save. There we go. First try. Okay. Keypad for a terminal of some sort. There's nothing written on it. Another padlock. Hey. Well, that'll help me out.
What in the...
And that's me going back this way.
Shit!
Really, buddy? Okay. gonna be good for now. Oh, he's just hanging out over here, huh? Alright, you do you, buddy. Can't really go that way now, though, can I? Storage locker terminal memo. Appears to keypad to the locker's terminal is missing a few keys. Okay, I already found one. But that's going to be useful. That's the shotgun.
Jesus.
I knew it. Jerk. So he was the one that was in here. Hey.
There you are. Come here. Take a look.
Yes. I knew she'd make it.
Oh, you know her?
Yeah. Name's Claire. I came into town with her.
You can get to that courtyard. Through the second floor. East side.
I'm on it. Thanks, Lieutenant.
Poor Marvin. Alright. So that one was unlocked. I think these were all spades for now. That one was a clover. The fuck was that noise? Why are you still alive? Just die already. Okay. So I can't go that way anyway. That's where I originally came. I'm sure he'll be a zombie later. Alright. Alright, I think that's a pretty good place to call it. Let's see here. Exit out of the game. Ugh. So, yeah, that was a fun stream. I'd say that was pretty good. So, yep, laughed for a bit. Got that out of my system. And got some Resident Evil 2 started. So, yep, next stream we'll resume. We'll play some more Resident Evil 2. You know, I watched tons of people play this, but it's always like speedrunners and stuff. So I don't really know all the strats or anything. I don't really plan on speedrunning it. But it's Resident Evil 2. It's a pretty straightforward game. You know, plus, I mean, once you kind of learn the layout of the main hub area, you know, it gets a little easier to navigate. So, and I'll pick up better weapons and stuff. So, shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, I don't know if I'll do a full playthrough of Claire as well as Leon. I don't know. I mean, maybe. I heard there's really not much of a difference between Leon and Claire's game. You know, whereas like in the original, Claire and Leon were very different campaigns. From what I've heard in this one, it's not really that true. There's some slight differences, but like, you know, and obviously the story cutscenes are a little different, but like other than that, it's pretty much the same experience. And then I guess in this one there's Leon A and B and Claire A and B, which seems like a way of kind of padding out the game. So I don't know if I'm going to go that hard into it. Might just play through the Leon campaign and call it good. I don't know. It's weird that Resident Evil doesn't have as much of a hold on me as it did years ago. I still like the game, like the franchise and everything. But speaking of, you know, when we were talking about Dragon Age, you know, how some franchises just kind of seem to change a lot over the years and start becoming a little less recognizable. You know, Resident Evil is definitely a franchise that has gone through a lot of versions of itself, and not always for the best. And the remakes have been decent from what I've seen, but I think the future is going to be more of the first person type stuff. I heard rumors that the next one is going to be more open world, which will be interesting to see if that's actually true. But I don't know. I don't see Capcom doing any big reveals for that this year, so we'll probably hear more about the next Resident Evil, whether it's a remake or the mainline entry. I'm going to guess we'll probably hear more about that early next year. But who knows? It's Capcom. They like to kind of do what they want to do. And they got the money for it. They've been selling stuff like crazy. They're one of the most successful third-party publishers right now. So they have every right to do whatever the heck they want. But yeah, so all right. Thanks for coming out, guys. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.